We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. If you need a roadmap in crypto, turn on notifications. Turn on notifications so you know when we're going live or we're posting new videos. Hit that bell. Now, crypto, is this worth it anymore? Are you wrecked? Probably. People are no doubt wondering, why am I even doing this? I will answer that question. And I think, frankly, things are starting to look so bad from a news point of view that we are at the diametrically opposite point than we were at the top in January. As a matter of fact, this all lines up with one of the worst crashes ever, believe it or not. So for today's show, we will be going through historical data analysis. So I brought out the Goldman historical analysis tool, PowerPoint returns. Are we at a bottom? Okay. If so, what does the bottom look like? What year is the bottom from? Recent XRP outperformance. Does that mean anything? Okay. We have geopolitical issues that we've got to go through. We've got people protesting here in my hometown at electric vehicle facilities. All very interesting stuff, all things you need to know. Now, let's begin with something really simple. The YouTube member area and Patreon, which is the middle tier offering, is going to get filled up. Here's the Patreon code. The links are down below. We are going to fill these areas up with small caps and mid caps that we think are going to do well when this thing turns around and rallies into Bitcoin Vegas. And unless you're looking at the historical data stuff, what reason is there to buy this market? You know what? There isn't any. That's how you know it could be a low or that the market is in process of making a bottom, because I'm not even going to ask who's still here, because the answer is the few, the proud, the Spartans, right? That's who's here, right? The Spartans are in Patreon. Now, this is the YouTube member area. We've already started. Beyond Bitcoin is to crash over model portfolios. Okay, this is me and Toby Ward, so we're on it, and we're on it today. We're on it. So make sure you check out the YouTube member area for the picks that we're coming out with. And of course, once again, I will be demonstrating why you need antivirus. Hey, John McAfee is now podcasting, and everyone's getting bent out of shape about it. He's talking, and he's going to be talking to people soon, not to mention the fact that I can give you 3 incredible news headlines showing why you might need this. So antivirus, AINTI, antivirus.ai. Now, why are you here? Why are you still here? That's probably the better question. Anybody who's listening to me knows why they're here. It's crypto. But there probably are a lot of people that are like, why do I care about this? I'll answer that. We're going to cover it. Okay, let's see who's here. Let's see all the brave Sunday morning warriors. Bull Runner Art from the airport in Amsterdam. Man, that's tough. I got to tell you. Can you imagine what the weather is like? Night shift in the Netherlands. Ooh. Thomas Pollock. Another Thomas. No, not Thomas Pollock. Just Thomas. Niall, welcome. Bob, a member. Zapadas, Daniel. Havoc is here. Welcome. Zapadas. Bill, it's coming and most will be shocked. Bro, that's true. Jav, a member. Thomas, Randall, Scott, Lawrence, XRP, Link, Solana. Dude, XRP and Link, I think so. Are we winning yet? Welcome. Legend the DJ, rocking those emojis. Okay, speaking of emojis, people with emojis do get priority on comments, plus, premium shout outs. That's $4.99. So if you want to support the channel, and, you got any spare change in the couch, please come check us out. Daniel J, right? Scott Lawrence says, you help keep me sane. Nolo man, welcome. Nola fan, welcome. Joe Mike, bang away with those emojis. Enjoy yourself. As Janice McAfee said, check in on your people. This stream is about me checking in on my people. Okay, just as a reminder, the Eagle King is not here today. So I will make a special note to get to comments as I see them. All right. Not to mention doing the all-important screen share. Okay, let's start. So, equities. Doomberg, no bid. No bid. And undoubtedly, these geopolitical issues that have surfaced overnight, which are serious, more serious than tariffs, I think. Okay, so no bid in stocks. And Monday will probably be another excuse for no bid in stocks. All right. No bid in stocks means people are eventually coming to crypto. And if there is a geopolitical disturbance, that could hurt altcoins. Can't lie about that. But I still think Bitcoin is going to hold. You know, I have a new version of the Grok roadmap. Okay. I actually have an old version of the Grok roadmap, which matches up with the historical work. But the tactical stuff about where Bitcoin was going to be at the end of the month or in March, it's right on target. You know, it was supposed to be 76 last week, got like 70, 78, something like that. 81 this week and 90 something at the end of the month. Meanwhile, there's no bid. Doomberg is bearish. Everybody is bearish. And if there's a geopolitical incident, bullish sentiment may go to zero, which I believe will eventually be constructive because people have left and we are absolutely in a revulsion stage. People are just like, I don't want it anymore. Okay, so Elon taking some heat just because. Protesters here in my hometown, right? Ditch it. No kings. Bring back corruption. No one elected Elon. And we have Alex, who's also from Austin, out giving him a hard time. Now, what does this mean? For crypto, I don't know. But you will get pushback from the system. And if the United States is not as united as people think, when you start seeing stuff like this, bring back the bad old days. I'm just kind of waiting for somebody to go, you know what? I'm not sure these guys in power, and I'm definitely not sure these characters have our best interests at heart. And I keep saying it, and the market keeps going down, but I'm just going to keep saying it because it's true. It's true. Like what is the only thing you have in a revulsion stage? The truth. The truth. Does this character have your interest at heart? And why are they outside like a service station? There really is no Tesla dealership. Why are they outside a service station scaring a bunch of mechanics? You know what I'm saying? Like, do the people who work here, do they want to go to work in the morning? And is this going to change anyone's mind other than just scaring people? Interesting. Okay, so Doge staffer broke the rules, transmitted personal data. Dude, unless you're on an antivirus, eSIM, privacy, your personal data is owned by everybody but you. And eventually, cryptocurrency is going to occur to people as a necessity, especially since I'm wondering what the case is for stocks. What's the case for stocks? What's the case for bonds? What is it? Tell me. I mean, if Elon can get, can cut or there's a labor market disruption, maybe bonds will be okay. But what is the case for legacy assets? What is it? What is the case for housing? You can get in, but you can't get out. There's no case for any of these assets. None. Okay. People, be clear. You cannot expect a sovereign to better itself. Thieves who know thieving and nothing else starve by bettering themselves. It is up to the people to better the sovereign. We choose them. Now choose someone else or choose a different form of money. Everyone is selling, and there will be smart money down here taking it from everybody, and that includes our YouTube members, right? because I've already discussed it with Toby, and we're going full, all out crypto picks, anticipating that this is going to be some type of climactic low if the low isn't in already. Sovereign clarification on the potential roles of different digital assets within the United States. Cardano best suited for academic credentialing. XRP for state-level financial transactions and interbank liquidity. Solana, high-speed blockchain applications. By the way, this came from the SEC. So now is the SEC off our back? The SEC is trying to figure out what can we do to get this industry going, which is sort of like the ultimate irony if you think about it. If you think about it, right? So please continue to think about it, because there are going to be a lot of altcoins that are going to fit into this. They're doing Web3. They just didn't do it on the timeline that everyone wanted, but they are doing it. This is, again, a big theme of the member area. Bitcoin demand has dropped to its lowest level this year, according to Crypto Quant. This decline suggests that investors are becoming more cautious and reducing interest in risk assets, reduced interest in risk assets amid market uncertainty. Sell, buy. Right? Like, people with less than one Bitcoin have already puked it out. Whales are buying. BlackRock's buying. Michael Saylor wants $21 billion. Hedge funds are all short his stock. They'll take everything you sell down here, just like they did at 20K, 16K. Yeah, look terrible, dude. For 6 months. This market's looked terrible for 6 weeks, and everybody is like, I don't know. Everybody is like, locking the fourth floor windows. Everyone's like freaking out. I understand, but people have packed it in. People have absolutely packed it in. People with less than one Bitcoin have all puked it out. This thing turns around on a dime, they're not going to be able to buy it back. You're going to be at 91 or 98 very quickly. And this time, I think if it actually goes back over 100, you're looking at 120. And I know no one's talking about that. And I know you think I'm crazy, and that's fine. Because in order to be a genius, you have to first be crazy, which again is another huge theme of what we do. It's called unhinged crypto. So we're going to get unhinged, and we're going to get bullish, long, and find stuff. That's it. And when you see the PowerPoint, you're going to know why. CEO of Strategy, Phong Lee, says he's spoken to 60 companies who are seriously considering putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Please get rid of this. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. It's like strategy with the Bitcoin exponential means sell. Anyway, the Orange Man wants corporations to do it and state governments to do it, and Michael Saylor's in charge of that. He is going to have a PowerPoint presentation, and they're going to have announcements, if they have any sense, for the May Bitcoin conference, which, of course, no one wants to go to, and I get it. And they're raising prices, so I would get in there while you can. Okay, because if this thing turns around in May, you're going to have massive FOMO into that. You are. Because the idea that Bitcoin is a different form of money, I mean, Bitcoin dominance, I hope this is not the case. I know some guys that think Bitcoin dominance is going to like 80 or 70 something. So let's think about that, and let's think about getting the right altcoins, because if you don't have the right altcoins, it's been this way all year. You got to get the right ones. Okay, so Gemini won a Guinness World Record for the largest display of a Bitcoin formed by drones. Oh, God, please stop this. Please stop it. I mean, I like Gemini, and I want them to do well, because they, them doing well gets Coinbase off their duff on so many different things. But this is like with hat on the Vegas Dome. Yuck. Okay, but maybe it's just a little excess they got to purge out of the system. But then again, maybe they're excited because they're coming out of this White House summit, and just because they didn't buy everyone's bags right away doesn't mean they don't want it to happen. Especially since that sovereign wealth fund comes online, I believe, in July right? They said 180 days for that. Sovereign wealth fund can do whatever it wants. Okay, so Uncle Mike says there's $300 trillion in fixed income, so I want 1% of it. That's $3 trillion of Bitcoin backed debt for MicroStrategy on track to be one of the largest entities in the world. They got to issue $9 trillion this year. And if they tokenize this or they back it with Bitcoin, again, this is not discussed. This is not discussed, right? Bitcoin as a strategic asset to provide at least some backing for treasuries. Like if Uncle Sugar buys Bitcoin and pays part of the interest on treasuries in Bitcoin, that's a marketing stunt. And they may need a marketing stunt, particularly with some of the stuff that they're doing now, some of these policies. I'm like, whoa, some of this geopolitical stuff, like they're going to need Bitcoin to save them. And now Michael Saylor's got a whole new list of talking points, right? He's got talking points indefinitely now. He's like a micro guy at the corporate level. He's a macro guy, right? He's a sovereign guy. He's a guy. Now, of course, what we could use is another guy out there. I mean, there's all these people at the summit, and I'm sort of wondering who's helping Mike. I say get Bobby out there. I know Bobby's, taking on everybody and their brother over, food and medicine and whatever, but let's get somebody out there. Get Bobby out there. Get somebody to help Mike. All right. Cynthia Lummis is trying. Who else? Well, the answer to that's simple. You know what the answer is? It's us. It's me. It's like, yeah, I'm on the air Sunday morning. Yeah, I know. Nobody cares except you, which I appreciate. Which is why if you're watching this, you want to turn on the notification bell so you know when we're going live. Turn on the notification bell, please. That is the new like button. The notification bell helps the channel. No notification button. Notification button, right? Get that bell going so you know when we're going live. I'm adjusting how I do short videos so the bell doesn't go off all day, but you get the point. Okay, so Goldman mentions Bitcoin in its annual shareholder letter for the first time in history. Now, traditionally, that's negative, but it's not at the top. It's at the bottom after a crash. So these guys know what is about to happen with Fiat. There are geopolitical issues now. You can pay for oil with gold. I don't know what these new issues with geopolitics are going to do to the price of oil. I don't know. But I do know that if you're not thinking about Bitcoin, you're crazy. You're crazy. And if you're not thinking about Web3 and you don't want to, you don't want to kneel to Caesar or the Caesars, you can't want to kneel to the Caesars, even if you're Rekt. I know you don't want that. The whole reason you were in to begin with is because you're like, yeah, I want to do something else. So if you got any capital left, go touch grass, go hug a tree. Is it worth the fight? That's the headline. Yes. Yes, it is. Even if everything I'm about to show you is wrong, it's still worth the fight. Still, and I think what I'm going to show you in the PowerPoint, it's worth it. Okay, so yeah, Mike says get to low, Phong Lee. Boom. Let's give him a like, right? These guys mean business. They do. And they're just going to keep buying. They're going to buy until, I don't know, they can't anymore. Because their conviction is high. Oh, God, please stop that. Oh, yuck. Stop it. Okay. Bitcoin is an orange dwarf, the brightest object in the financial system, growing stronger, hotter, and denser as it attracts capital. Well said. Well said. See, I like that better. More of this, less of this. Way less. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like a network effect. The more people participate in the network, the better it is. And of course, you got all these big people who I swear to the higher power of my understanding are just hoovering up everything down here. Everything. And then they're going to liquidate all the shorts at 90 and it's going to be at 98, right? Shorts are going to wake up Monday. They're going to have a whole new reason to sell it. And I think they're going to run into a wall of buyers by the end of the month. Okay. Yeah. This is the this is the footage of little spaceships making a Please stop it. Stop it. El Salvador DCA. You know, the trade is working. BTFD has worked for these guys. So they're just going to keep doing it. They're just going to keep right on doing it. I don't blame them. Right? I mean, it's like, if you ask yourself, where is this going to be in May? Where is this going to be? Particularly after you see this PowerPoint that's coming up, right? After you see the PowerPoint that's coming up, and then the follow-up research that's going to go in the member area, right? And in Patreon, right? When you see this, you're going to be like, hey, wait a minute. Maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe bad is good at this point. First president to buy Bitcoin, mines it with volcano enemy, and the IMF hates it. They hate it. It's really, really, really time to do the opposite of what anybody says. Bearish, bullish, right? Hate it, love it. Seriously. They're selling it, buy it. It's become that simple. Okay, Cynthia Lummis, bless her heart. Okay. Proposed Bitcoin Act lays out how America could revalue gold to buy 1 million Bitcoin over 5 years. God bless her, man. You know, like, she is out there. Like, where's Hester Pierce? Where's everybody who's at the summit? It's Mike and Cynthia. Where is everybody else? Where's Novogratz? Hey, Mike, where are you? Right? We got a Luna tattoo at the top. Nobody's here at 80K. Where is everybody? Well, that's easy. That's awful, right? You know, I think, you know, just all this stuff like 2 months ago, right? Again, it speaks to contrarian theory. Oh, Bitcoin's going to 700K. Where are these guys now that it's at 80? Discount shopping. No one, you know why? Because they can't get any attention. No one's listening. Now, you want to know when I think you should be the loudest? When no one's listening. Even if I'm preaching to the choir. And if I'm not preaching to the choir, turn on the notification bell, join the choir. A whale deposited $3 million into Hyperliquid and opened a 10x leverage short position on Solana. So that could be Alameda Research. They recently have a whole bunch of Solana, or somebody that's got the inside skinny on whatever geopolitical events are going on. Okay. So I don't know, what can we call it? A place of worship in Austin, Texas. Burning. This is Austin, Texas, man. This is supposed to be Happyville. It's like hippies, music, University of Texas, South by Southwest. Yeah, okay. These people have your issues at heart, by the way. He might. What about these? What about these people? You know, you don't think you need digital assets or privacy unless you happen to be a card-carrying member of that institution. Now, speaking of smart money, you know what? VanEck gets a thumbs up because they just want ETF after ETF after ETF. And this Avalanche has been in the news lately. I keep seeing more Avalanche stuff. I think Avalanche may be doing like a lot of paid promotion, maybe. I don't know how they get in the news. But these guys have a security token functionality. And everyone's leaving. Like the TVL on Avalanche, like everybody left. Everybody's bailing out. It's like it's going to zero. Dude, they built this thing for speed and security tokens. I don't know how they're going to issue $9 trillion in debt. Let me do it this way. Like Michael Saylor is going to issue bonds before Uncle Sugar does, which is smart. Get the paper out there. So if Uncle Sugar's got to issue and sell 9 trillion and suck 9 trillion out of the system, even if the Fed puts a whole bunch of money in there, how's anybody else going to issue debt? Right? Like, oh, I got to use all my money to buy Uncle Sugar's debt. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What's everyone else going to do who needs money? Has anyone thought about this? They're going to have to tokenize it. World Liberty is either getting paid or is getting told by somebody to get security token functionality. And I still think ETH at zero, like ETH is dead. I mean, ETH bearish sentiment is at 100%. These networks are going to get used for something. Every layer one's not going to make it, but these networks are going to get used for something. And to say that by the end of the year, we're not going to need it, this includes Web3, right? privacy, all this stuff. We don't need it. Right now, we don't want it, but we might need it by the end of the year. And no one's talking about that except, of course, me and Toby, right? So, check that link in the link down below. Okay. I'm sort of wondering about the state of the world when this becomes necessary, right? We're scaring mechanics in Austin, and we've turned the white building in on the East Coast into a car dealership, and then we have Kim posing with robots. Like the political division has come to this, right? Where we need Kim to market Cybertruck. Are you kidding me? This is like, I got to get crypto now. Now. Get outside this system. Bolivia's backed energy firms are now using crypto to pay for oil. You're going to be paying for oil with a lot of things other than dollars. And I continue to believe that people do not understand fiat downside. I had all these charts last week. I'm going, wah, 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 wah. People do not understand fiat downside. They don't understand Bitcoin upside, or they did, but they forgot about it. They do not understand fiat downside, because the way these guys are acting, particularly with some of these like geopolitical developments, which I don't know, I might have in here. If not, I'll discuss it. People just don't understand this. Like, what could suddenly change in crypto? I think it was a suggested short video. What could change suddenly? I don't know. Lack of confidence in everything. Everything. Everyone's like, egg prices. Today it's the mid-morning update on egg prices. Let's talk about egg prices. No, bro, let's talk about fiat. Right? Let's talk about fiat. They got everybody talking about everything except what matters, which, their strategy is working. It's a distraction, right? Like, if we go back and we have a laugh about this, right? What is this? This is a distraction. It's a distraction. From what? From what? Like, what's a bigger distraction than Kim Kardashian and a robot with a Cybertruck? We're talking about it. But the thing is, what are they distracting you from? Geopolitical events, $9 trillion in debt. What? The crypto, the market? What you're supposed to be doing to be free? How about that? Has anyone asked this? Oh, okay. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So, yeah. Ooh, so I got to get that out of. Okay. So everyone thinks this is cool, right? It's like, okay. Bunch of guys disrupting shipping in the Red Sea, and the Orange Man is launching on them. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. Let's get them. I thought this was like the no geopolitical conflict guy. We want peace everywhere, except if I want to erase a bunch of people. What the heck is this? Now, of course, you can go into what the heck is this. There's a guy named Nick who's been going into what the heck is this for quite a long time. What the heck is this? Now, yeah, you don't want any problems in the Red Sea. I get it. But what the heck is this? What is this? This is why the market is down, by the way. This is worse than tariffs, because this could destabilize everything. Now, again, this guy took $200 million and probably is the reason why he won't go to jail for the rest of his life, from people whose interest it is to have this happen. And if you don't think that they're going to do what they want to do, you think that they're out there working for you? Yeah, they are. They are a little. But what's the priority? And then if you answer that question, or if you can't answer that question, what should your priority be? So the Canadians, yeah, they're not happy. Why should they be? Why should they be? I mean, do you realize how bad the debt problem is? I'll tell you how bad the debt problem is. Let me come off this for just a second. Don't worry. I will remember to go back on the first time. Assets minus liabilities equals equity or net worth. So if your L, liabilities, is 37 trillion, how do you keep from having E, equity, go massively negative? In other words, you're done. How do you do that? Well, you increase A. That's what a real estate guy would do. Get A so you can get the benefit of the asset to offset the liability, which is why the orange man is on the Canadians. He's on Greenland. He's on the Panama Canal. Where did all that come from? I mean, you got to be kidding me. Actually, you don't have to be kidding me. We owe $37 trillion. And everyone's like, oh, look at the protests. Look at Kim. Look at all this. $37 trillion is a problem. And it's a problem for fiat. And everyone is selling crypto. And the worse they behave, the dumber it is. The dumber it is. Okay. The dumber it is, the more you should buy crypto. Okay. Breaking news from the Eagle King. Okay. So they've got to invoke all these weird laws to stop the pushback on the things that they want to do. Is the United States united? Or is it going to heat up? That's another question. Maybe it's united, but maybe there's dissent from radical groups. So TON goes up 20% after France lets the, Telegram founder go back to where he lives. Guess he should have used an eSIM card and an e-gift card to book his flight because they came looking for him. And if you don't think you need privacy, I would disagree, right? Sovereigns, do they care about you? That's a big country, by the way. That's a big country. Like it happened in, the land of, wine and cheese. And then the guys in the Middle East, they tolerated it. They didn't stop them. So Rand Paul just wanted to put DOGE's aid cuts into law. And what a disappointment, those who voted with me. 27 people. So do you think they really, really want, or do you think Elon's going to cut and they're going to spend anyway? When 27 people voted with Rand Paul. Everybody going, wow. All kinds of talk. But when it comes down to it, they're going to act like who owns them. Someone owns them, and they're going to act in their interest no matter what they say. Nays far more important to the list. Okay, people in the Orange Man Party who voted against Ron Paul. It's a lot of guys. A lot of guys who don't care because, they're more afraid of whoever owns them than Rand Paul. Antivirus hanging in there. 30-minute chart, big buyer. Guys trying to buy the dip. I don't know. 4 million market cap. You're never going to get me off this, by the way. You're never going to get me off this. It's just, I don't know. To me, it's just obvious. Don't believe me? So, a school teacher in Ireland just got fired over pronouns. Got fired. This is not, it's not the West Coast, not some crazy shit. Excuse me. This is Ireland. It's unbelievable. Like, how could anybody think this is a good idea? And how could anybody think privacy is not a good idea? How could they think that? Smart money is going to be after this stuff, whether it's antivirus or something else. They're going to be after it. Okay, we'll go to some live TA and then we're going to PowerPoint. So we have Bitcoin failing at the 200-day moving average. And that looks terrible. What can you say? Looks terrible. Support is down here in the equilibrium zone, and I'm leaning on the equilibrium zone and Grok's forecast to say that 80, 81 is where it should be right about now. That's where it is, and I'm just going to go along with that, okay? You definitely have people in Bitcoin packing it in, right? They loved it above 90, and they hate it at 80. Like this red on red here, this is like everybody out. Everybody in, everybody out. When everyone's out, when they're all finally out, That's when everyone discovers the stuff that I'm talking about now. Okay, let's go to PowerPoint because I got a lot in PowerPoint, a lot. Okay, here we go. PowerPoint's back. Your market update. Okay, so Bitcoin, nothing good happening. If it doesn't crack and the chart looks terrible, it doesn't crack, but the chart looks terrible. When it turns and the chart doesn't look terrible anymore, everyone likes to buy the reclaim, as I say, above the 200-day moving average. But, oh, am I sharing? I'm not sharing. Okay. So everyone wants to buy the reclaim. And if it does reclaim, you won't be able to buy it. That's my attitude. My attitude is start the DCA right now, not investment advice. That's what I'm doing. Okay, just a reminder about the dollar. This is what's going to happen to the dollar. This is what's going to happen with the dollar. In technical analysis, things happen in threes. This is the dollar index quarterly chart, and this could just disappear. I'm convinced of that, right? You went to the discount zone in 2012. It did take 10 years to get there. I don't think it's going to take 10 years. I think it's going to take one. Honestly, like where's the dollar index going to be in a year? Where's any fiat currency going to be in a year? Everyone's thinking about my bag as of today. And I understand your bag is Rekt and mine is too. Who cares? Who cares? Like, is crypto worth the fight? I mean, like the Tesla dealership, the place in Fredericksburg. What are we doing? How hard do you think they're going to push back? What do you think's next? I hear guys are talking about, like the UFO scare is next. Whatever's next. There will be something next. So before that happens, perhaps we can remember why crypto is worth the fight. Now, let's talk about the historical data machine. So this is just a simple request. I say take the last 200 days worth of action, right? Or in this case, 180, because I'm trying to be very Gannish. Anything that could be divisible by 45. So here's the last 45 days up. Last 180 days, all the way up, all the way down. And the computer is saying that this has a similarity to where the market was back in September of last year. So this crash looks like the crash from last year, off the end, by the way. And that, you do this kind of like up. You go down, then you go up, and then it goes sideways, and then boom, everybody gets caught. Everybody gets caught. And I don't see why this wouldn't be a repeat. And it's going to trade terrible. Trade terrible back then. I thought it was all over. It's just it couldn't move. That's like, this is dead. And I just kept bull posting, right? I just was out there on that park bench doing 6th Street crypto for the Spartans. Going, there's no way we're giving up. There's no way. And this to me smells like a V bottom, and I'll tell you why. So this is Solana. Same analysis. So this is 180 days of Solana in red, right? And then, as this works, it matches with the previous 180 days from history and then gives you the blue line, which is the next 180 days. So match up the current with the past and then show me how the past turned out. And look at this. Solana never went up. Then it went straight down. So just like the range from last time, you got leveraged shorts in Solana. Okay. Well, if the leveraged shorts don't get gratification, or even if they do, who's leveraged shorting Solana at 120 with this graph? I don't know. So maybe it's a hedge, maybe not. But I have no idea why anybody is selling this like down here. None. If anything, it's like, where can I buy this? If they puke it out off the geopolitical stuff, because the geopolitical stuff is crazy and people might lose it over that. People have, I think, they're gone, and the people who have stayed might lose it. I don't blame them. So this is ETH. So ETH is supposed to be going up and it's going down. So that either means ETH is dead, or when ETH snaps back, it's going to be massive. Because, Goldman isn't mentioning Bitcoin for nothing. I continue to believe this. Right? $9 trillion in treasuries, gold going up, dollar going down, silver about to go up only. And ETH is just like pushed out of, out of a window. Chainlink, same thing. Same thing, just down only. And, the bottom is a little bit off, but the match here is tremendous. Now, I don't know if Chainlink has to do the bigger the base before it goes higher into space. Maybe. I suspect not. Frankly, I suspect that the bottom is the bottom, and whatever this was, the market's going to do the opposite. So last time we did it, it's a range, and I'm wondering if it doesn't have to be a range. Everyone just wakes up and goes, "Oh my God, why do I not own this?" I'm wondering. Now, maybe it's this. I don't think so. I don't. We'll see. But the point is, this looks exactly like September of last year across the spectrum. All right, let's talk about Thursday bottoms. So as of Thursday, Bitcoin was down 15% over like a month, and S&P was down over 5% over the same, say, 1 month period. So stocks, crypto, Bitcoin, stocks lower. And then what happens when it's Thursday under these circumstances? Can you get a bottom on a Thursday? Now, in this situation, you can. You can. Because when stocks are down and crypto is down, sometimes you can have a bottom on a Thursday. And Bitcoin is weird like this. Like normally you wouldn't do this analysis in stocks, like on a Thursday versus a Wednesday. And then, how far into a quarter are you, which is up next. So if you look at this, these are all the days where stocks and crypto were wrecked. So you have 2015, 2018, you have cough, cold, and flu where, the market got wrecked and then it turned around and went up 32% over, this is 11 days. So 11 days out, Bitcoin is always higher under these circumstances. Now, some of the rallies are kind of small. 2022, small. 2022, small. But if you ask yourself, if stocks are wrecked, if Doomberg is bearish, if everyone's out of crypto, where could this be in 2 weeks? Could be higher based on this, right? Bitcoin down, stocks down, Thursday bottom. What happens? Especially if it looks terrible on a weekend and then they turn it around. All right, let's try something else. So recently you had a big decline in crypto. So again, it's this, 15% drop over roughly a month. But then Bitcoin rallies. And the condition that's really funny is that you're about 75 days into a 90-day quarter. So like almost towards the end of a quarter, Bitcoin is down and then comes back. What happens? Or how many times has that even happened where Bitcoin gets, smacked, with only, 20 days left in a quarter? It doesn't happen that often. As a matter of fact, the only other time it's happened throughout the, 15-year history of Bitcoin was at the bottom of cold cough, and, cold cough at March 13th of 2020. That's the only other time where, you're 3/4 of the way through a quarter and it puked. It was the absolute low. It's the absolute low. How interesting is that? Now, what does that tell you? Let's talk about what does that tell you? That tells you that this puke is pure panic. It's pure panic. What was the puke about back then? Pure panic. The Fed put the central banks put 14 trillion in the system to offset that. Now, of course, that was a much bigger deal. But they got to issue 9 trillion. How are they going to do that? They got to put high-powered money in the system. And everyone just freaked out like it was the cough and the cold. We got the same behavior, the same revulsion, the same, oh my God, except I think in this case, actually, I think it was worse. I think that drop was so sharp, people who knew the business were like, oh, I got to buy this. I got to buy it. And where's it going? 0? Went to 4,000. This feels worse. It's not a worse event. Sentiment feels worse. Normally, you don't puke Bitcoin near the end of a quarter. No, it gets better. So lately, XRP has been outperforming. Now, I know nothing outperforms forever. So XRP is correcting today. I get it. But what happened lately was that, Bitcoin did go up on Friday. But even though it went up, Bitcoin was like back to unchanged for like a 2-day period. Like Bitcoin went down and then went up. Meanwhile, XRP had been steadily rising over that same 2-day period. Like Bitcoin went down and went up and was meh. Meanwhile, XRP was up 5%. Interesting, huh? XRP was outperforming. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you saw that? When was the last time you saw XRP? Now, sometimes speculative assets lead the market. Now, historically, sadly, this is not that good for XRP. But when was the last time you saw this? You last saw it on October 5th, 2017. This is why I don't think that if there is a bottom, it's not going to be one of these. It's going to be down. And then if it goes up, it's going to go straight up. Like October 5th is right here on this chart. Right here. Right there. So I know, yeah, it looks terrible. What happens if it goes up? What happens? You got multiple things going, hey, normally Bitcoin doesn't get wrecked at this time of a quarter. Normally when XRP dramatically outperforms Bitcoin, you can get a low. And when stocks and crypto get wrecked, it can turn around sharply. Doesn't mean it will, but it can. Right? That's what these charts mean. And everyone's selling. Everyone. Okay, again, they got to borrow $9 trillion, and I just pound the table on this. This comes from Ron Paul. And this is what M2 did back in 2017. If you have geopolitical problems, you have tariff problems, you got all these problems, and they want to keep their job, they're going to put money in the system. And they want fiat lower. Now, this is the Grok roadmap, right? Done with multiple assumptions, right? Namely, a strong move into May, a volatile fall, and then up only. And no one's talking about this as a possibility. I think I'm the only freaking person out there who's saying, you know what? You can recover in April and you can go up only in May, into Michael Saylor's speech. Perhaps Bitcoin Vegas will probably be sell the fact. Everyone wants sell the fact. Everyone's like, oh, sell the fact, sell the fact, sell the fact. You know when you do sell the fact? When no one's talking about sell the fact, which is, I think, is where we're going to be in May. In the meantime, Grok, 98 first week of April. Easter, 112. Memorial Day, 142. You know, and you say, all right, Bill, well, that's stupid. Is it? Is it? When you got this going on. XRP outperforms Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin kind of rallies back. Boom. It's not as dumb as you think. It's not. Okay, so again, more of the Grok roadmap. End of March, it's got 84. End of April, 107. End of May, Grok thinks $3K for Ethereum, $3,200, $4.50 for XRP. This is from a whole separate analysis done like 3 days ago. So there's like a confluence of all these like AI and computer things that are just basically telling you that everyone's selling this market into a hole. They're selling it into the abyss. They are. And they're giving up, which is even worse. Which is why if it turns around, it goes up only. $505 as a target for AVE out at the end of May. This is all Grok, kind of like price predictions, assuming a rally. AI, everyone's packed it in. I can't even discuss it. It's over, right? I haven't heard one word about it. The only thing I've heard about AI is that, you know, the open AI guys are complaining that, you know, they don't have access to everyone's data for free. Sorry, bro, your business model's not working. we can't compete with somebody else. I'm like, okay, well, I know we want it made in America, but I don't know if that gives you the right to just take stuff. Elon's figuring it out. Why can't you? Again, this goes back to antivirus. So I don't know why no one is looking at AI and DeFi and real world assets as this thing just goes. Okay. In AI, March rewards the bold. That's from GAN-based analysis. And I'm not even going to go in to the rest of it because I think the point has been made. The point has been made. Okay, let's see who we got here. Let's see what we got. By the way, please turn on a notification bell. Wow, Yav, your passion is infectious. Never ever never let the fire die. Wow, I got to put this up on the screen. Give this guy some love. Normally the Eagle King is banging this out. Sorry, I didn't see it yet. There we go. That's a $15 super chat from an existing member. That's from a paid subscriber. So, sir, I appreciate you. And if you don't have money to be a paid subscriber, hit the notification bell. The notification bell helps the channel. We called up YouTube and said, hey, what's going on? What's up with this? You guys not like us anymore? He's like, no, bro. Your subscribers don't have the notification bell turned on. I'm like, yo, turn on the notification bell. Please tell your friends to do it too. Oh my God, Big Rich is here. What's up, dude? What's up? Big Rich is like DCA, a leader in Patreon, which by the way has a chat. And, there are some volunteer, leaders in there that can help you out. The community does help each other. Charlie, the positive cat. MicroStrategy will only go up. Dude, everyone's short that stock. They're so short. God, they're so short and they're so bearish. Okay, what happens if MicroStrategy gets nuked? Okay, well, dude, you know what? If MicroStrategy gets nuked, I don't know, dude. If MicroStrategy gets nuked, you're going to have a problem with the banks because I don't know who lent him money, but it's too big to fail. If this thing ever really went down, you probably would have the Fed buying crypto or the Bitcoin ETF anyway. Because, again, he's too big to fail at this point. For real, he's too big to fail. Bill, not a fan of the corporate branding. Okay, well, I'm not doing corporate branding, but yeah, it's that strategy stuff. Yeah, that's yeah. Thoughts on BMAX Bitcoin corporate-based ETF? Look, man, corporations have got to find a fiat hedge. They're not hedged. They don't own gold, and none of their treasuries understand what happens if you have a fiat problem like you had in 1985. In 1985, it wasn't a problem. They wanted it to happen. They wanted it to happen. I think they want it to happen now. I just don't think anyone's paying attention. Okay, so this is a good question. Do you think the bear market has started or we just can't accept it? The market cannot go up on never-ending whatever from the orange man. They'll never authorize the purchase of internet coins. Okay. So has the bear market started? No, because I don't think the bull market ever started based on the fact that this thing was memes and Bitcoin only on the way up. Big Rich, they super chat. Happy birthday, Solana. 80% of all transactions. So cheap. That's amazing. It's amazing how battle-tested that network is. And let's go back to PowerPoint briefly. I mean, what is everyone doing? I mean, Solana, relative to the history, is it's like down only. It's like yen carry trade down. Well, what are they doing? Well, what they're doing is they're forcing everyone out is what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Now, they're not doing it on purpose, but if the events are there and they can push it, which is what they're doing today, right? Like crypto always gets wrecked on Sunday. Now, I know we got geopolitical events, which I personally don't like. I don't think it's necessary by any stretch of the imagination. Nobody was stopping U.S. shipping. Nobody was stopping that. So it's like they're going to have to respond, and equity market is going to freak out. And then crypto, it becomes an excuse to hit crypto when everyone's packing it in. Don't pack it in. Don't. Right? I mean, I understand that it looks awful, right? But when it looks awful, that's when you accumulate, I think, right? I mean, you may be shocked to know, but we're still broadcasting twice a week in the member area. And I'm getting 6th Street Crypto out at least 3 days a week. Basically telling people, don't pack this in. That we're going to have more picks, and we've already said AI, DeFi, real world assets. Like, what's going on in real world assets today? Let's go check that just for laughs. Okay. Token down 5%. Ondo down 5%. Okay. Aave down 4%. Oh, okay. I don't know if this is bullish or bearish. I think it's bullish. Okay. You don't want to listen to Kathy when the market is up, but sometimes, even if it's a broken clock and it's right twice a day, someone else is out there. And I can't remember if she was at the crypto summit or not. She should have been. At least we got someone out there. How hard is it to get on a podcast? They have PR departments. Get these people out there, right? Somebody other than Michael Saylor, Cynthia Lummis, and me. Okay, Baby Whale is in the house. Big Rich reminding you it's cheap buying for the ETF. We got guys in Patreon that can really help you. Sometimes you want to hear it from me. Sometimes you want to hear it from your peers. Right? And then, of course, like I said, we're not going to stop. Matter of fact, we are determined to get everyone in because we think that if you can get in during this despair period, you're literally going to be a wealthy hero now and at the end of the year. Because somewhere there's a 2017 move here. They're either going to do it now off fiat, or they're going to do it all in November, December, just like they did last time in 2017. And no one's talking about 2017. People are talking about the bear market, which is, I get it. Your P&L. I understand. It's not the bear market, right? It's not. How can it be? How can it be the bear market? How can it be a bear market when you never had a bull market? Solana went up for what? 3 months, and then it did nothing. Renders at $4. I mean, look. See, let's pull up a render. We'll pull up something, right? We'll pull up a render. Okay. So here's render at the discount zone. So if it's a bear market, right, we would expect this to be winter, right? It's already down. So what we're saying is if it's a bear market, we're entering winter. How can we be entering winter when the only AI trade anyone's done is NVIDIA and things like Microsoft and other big Magnificent Seven stocks that are worth $15 trillion and probably aren't AI plays? Microsoft is not an AI stock. It's not. But of course, AI makes everything better. Whatever equity market delusions that they have. This is not winter. What are you talking about? We haven't even traded it. They traded it for what? A month? 2 months, right? You had a couple of pumps. That's not a trend. So I don't know. I would argue it hasn't started yet. And I would argue that so many people got hurt in all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down that no one wants to play. And if it goes back up, you know what people are going to do? They're going to sell. Retail always sells the first uptick. And of course, there's a reason for that because people just can't take the pain anymore. They're just like, as soon as I get even, I'm getting out. It's logical. Like your brain wants you to avoid pain, wants you to avoid risk. So if you get relief, as soon as you get relief, like, oh, Thank God I'm done. Thank God it's over. It's not over. If this thing goes back up, it won't stop going up. That's why I did all of that PowerPoint stuff. That's the bottom line. So if you made it all the way through to the stream, that is the bottom line. If this thing goes back up, it will be up only. And who's talking about that? Nobody. And the more they sell it and the worse it looks, the more I'm convinced that that's the way it's going to be, which is why we're going to fill up all this stuff. We're going to fill up Patreon. We're going to fill the Patreon store. We're going to fill up the YouTube member area. We already started. Banter Bubbles, CoinGecko portfolios, Layer 3, all kinds of stuff. We're not going to stop. And we're not. And if we get totally tuned out, good. Like there was some person who made some tweet. This is a good thing. Who made a tweet about antivirus. Because there's never a shortage of people to FUD antivirus, which is how I know it's good. Because they're all FUDding it all the time. Okay. I think I commented on it. I might be able to find it. But basically what he did was he took Janice McAfee on the latest Twitter space and he said something to the effect of, this is all that's left in the antivirus community. So he took a screenshot of the Twitter space before the 30 people got into it. So it only showed 6 people, right? And he's like, yeah, this is all that's left. Like, it's over. It's done. We don't need it. Okay. Okay. I told the people on that stream, point blank, that you should screenshot it. You should screenshot me, Janice McAfee, and everyone who's there, because these were the people who were there when no one else was. When everyone packed it in, whether it's antivirus or any other coin, right? Hey, this is all that's left. Yeah, bro, that's all that's left. The Spartans, the lone survivors, the last man standing. Now, for the conclusion, I'm gonna bring up Rocky Balboa. In the first Rocky movie in the 70s, which, you know, I don't know how many people watched it, probably not many, where Stallone wrote the movie when he was completely broke, destitute, and wound up winning an Academy Award. The night before the fight, you know, he's sitting there and he's talking to Adrian, and you know, Adrian's asking him if he's afraid. And he's like, yeah, I'm afraid. But he told Adrian that all I want to do is be standing there looking at him in round 16. I want to go the distance. Yeah, of course he wanted to win the fight, but he was such an underdog that winning was remaining standing. And I feel this way about Bitcoin. I feel this way about the coins that the guys in Patreon like Solana and Render. I feel this way about the communities, the members, everybody, and crypto in general. Because again, title of the stream is crypto worth fighting for? Is this worth it? And I think you want to be left standing in round 16. Because if you can be left standing in round 16 and this thing turns around and all the crypto has been sucked up, all the XRP has been sucked up, as banks come in and they need it and governments want it, there's not going to be any offer. So if you're left standing in round 16, then, you know, you get to have 7 more movies made about your life and your P&L. So, okay, that's it for the market update today. People, the notification bell, hit the notification bell on the way out. That helps the channel the most. We'll see you tomorrow.